We're Hassani and Danielle Pettiford, and we're a real couple with real problems who almost called it quits.
I was very frustrated. I became very disconnected, very jaded and cold.
We have 4 children, going on 20 years of marriage, and we practice what we preach.
Our mission, to change the way couples relate to one another and teach them the skills needed to improve the quality of their relationships. This is the Couples Academy Show.
Well, good morning, everyone. Oh, it would be nice if I had my mic, right? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Couples Academy Show. My name is Hassani.
I'm Danielle.
And we're here for another morning to connect with our family from all over the world, no matter where you may be from. We want to know who you are. This is the place where we hang out and talk about love, life, relationships, how to take our relationships to the next level, not only with our spouses, but with each other, with ourselves. That relationship we have with ourselves, that relationship we have with God. This is where we have that dialogue to get you started for your day. For some people, it's your daily dose, right? It's your daily bread. It gets you started in the morning. It allows you to go throughout the course of the day. And we're glad that you've made us a part of your daily experience.
Yeah, we really do appreciate that, guys. And you know what? We're right there with you. We're learning and we're growing and we're developing and we are strengthening our marriages right along with you. And it's just so awesome that we don't have to do it alone anymore. Nobody wants to do life alone, do marriage alone, figure it out on their own. So we really appreciate your presence showing up every day. And with that, I want to encourage you to continue to like, share, and subscribe and to hit that notification bell every day. You will get notified and you will not miss a show. This message actually is going to the 4 corners of the earth. And it's so awesome to see marriages be transformed every week. So thank you for doing that and keep it up.
And speaking of the 4 corners of the earth, we just had one couple leave literally 3 minutes ago. They're beeping as they're going up the driveway to go back to their corner of the earth because they came from Gambia, West Africa, had an amazing weekend. You're going to hear a testimonial from them probably tomorrow. But it's just always good to be able to see. It doesn't matter where you're from, what your culture is, what your language is, what your faith tradition is. There is something that binds us all together. And that's a desire for something more within ourselves and within our marriage. And you cross all types of cultural, spiritual, whatever lines, racial lines, because none of that stuff matters at the end of the day, because we all going through the same stuff.
At the end of the day, we want to be happy. We want to feel loved. We want to feel worth to someone. And we are all struggling to make that happen every day because the enemy is busy trying to shut you down, trying to get in between the details of your relationship. But we're here standing in the gap to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Now, before we get started with today's show, as you know, the Last Chance Weekend, it is here, folks, January the 7th through the 9th. Register as soon as you can. The link and the description, well, the link is in the description. It'll take you to the website, break down everything that you're going to experience. So make sure you go ahead and do that. Lacey, I want to go to Lacey. We've been sharing with you testimonials of couples who've come. Lacey's from our great state, New Jersey. Her and her husband, Mustafa. We're going to hear from her today about their experience over the last couple of, actually last weekend when they came here. And then we're going to dive deep and go into part 2 of how, 10 ways to resurrect your marriage, much like this couple did this past weekend.
Hi, my name is Lacey. I'm from New Jersey, and this Last Chance Weekend with Couples Academy has been life-changing for me. It has made me think deeper than I've ever had to think about myself and how I show up in my marriage and in my relationship with myself and as a partner to my husband. When I found Couples Academy, which was only a week ago, I had some feeling that this was something that I needed to do, and I was scared, I was nervous, I didn't know what to expect, but I took the leap of faith with my husband to come to this amazing experience, and it has changed us. I can honestly say that we will never be the same couple. The days are hard, they're long, and I've learned more about how to be the person I want to be than I ever thought I would. I thought this was a last chance to see if my marriage was going to work out, and it ended up not being that at all. It ended up being a chance for me to discover myself and discover who I want to be. And in that, becoming the person I want to be with my husband, and how much I actually want to grow with him and live my life with him. And for that, I'm so grateful.
Wow, that is incredible. Lacey came here. I don't know if she had much hope or faith that this would actually work for her or work for them. And I think most folks come in the door looking like that, like just, we're here because we heard the testimonies, but how am I going to get from point A to point Z? And you know what? Here's the coolest thing ever is that it's your personal transformation. When you get through pointing the finger at somebody else and you realize there are 4 fingers pointing right back at you and you get busy working on you, that's when your marital transformation begins to take place. And that's what these couples have experienced. That's what Lacey's talking about when she said, man, I didn't realize, you know what, there's some things I need to do to be a better person for this marriage. We can't continue on. We can't get to where we want to go if I stay who I am today.
There it is.
Powerful. I want to recognize some folks who are here with us. Jackie, good morning. Ralph is here from Ohio. JG is here in Las Vegas. I wonder if it's hot in Las Vegas right now. Is it? You think it is? I mean, we're getting cold here.
In Las Vegas.
Fedlene is joining us also from Las Vegas. Vashan is with us. Hey, Chicago. Michelle, good morning. Torre, Keisha, Sean, Al, good morning. Hey, Marisa, good to see you. In Arizona, I know it's hot there. It's always hot in Arizona. Darren is here. Derek is here. Lisa is here. RW, good morning. Danielle, so many people are jumping in. Hey, Gonzalez, I knew I was going to see you pop in there sooner or later. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Sean. You got homework to do. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Come on. Come on. Come on. All right, guys, we're diving in deep. We're talking about 10 ways to resurrect your marriage, part 2. I want to go back and give you just, I want to unpack the word resurrect. It's a word that some of you may be familiar with, some of it may be foreign to you, but I think if we have a comprehensive understanding of what that means, then we could see how it fits within the context of our marriage. So let's take this thing slow. Resurrect, it means to restore a dead person to life, to raise from the dead, to bring to view, attention, or use again. To revive the practice, the use, or memory of something, bring new vigor to. So now some synonyms for resurrect is reanimate, recharge, regenerate, rejuvenate, rekindle, to renew, to resuscitate. I love that word, to resuscitate, right? To revitalize, to revive, and to reawaken.
I love that. When I think about the resuscitate, it makes me think of like blowing the breath of life into something. You know, when we need to be resuscitated, we have passed all the way out and we're no longer in control of the functions of our body. And so for many of us, that's how we feel. Like I have no more options. I have no more control. I'm lights out. And that resurrecting breath of life coming back in and that has a special meaning to us coming off of COVID.
Lord, have mercy. Good God from Zion. Yes, it does. Some of you feel like things are just dead. They've been dead for a long time. You've been on life support the last couple of weeks, months, or years. You've just been in a dead-end place. And you lose a sense of hope. You lose a sense of help. You feel just helpless, like things are never going to get any better. But, the reality is when you understand what resurrection means, as we just unpacked to you, and you take your time to really absorb it, it begins to change things in you. We talked about yesterday the importance of or a few days ago, not just going from this video to that video, that book, to this post, to that. And it's just what it is. It's easy in, it's easy out. Sometimes you got to sit in something for a while. And when you sit in something, it begins to change your perspective and your mindset about something. And you need to know that life is still possible for your marriage. Because I don't care if you've been separated, living in 2 separate homes for 6 months to a year. I don't care if you've been on one floor and your spouse has been on another floor for the last 3-4 years. I don't care if every day you fight. I don't care if you've gotten so emotionally numb that you have absolutely nothing to say to each other. But if you are still legally bound in a marriage, if you're still in a covenant within your marriage, there's still hope for your marriage.
It makes me think about Lazarus. dead and gone, in the grave, buried 3 days.
Yeah.
Stinking.
Funky.
And
Musty.
even he was beyond life. It was too late. Everybody was mad. It was dead and gone. So even if you're not in the marriage, even if it's dead and gone, there is possibility. There is always possibility. Hassani mentioned it yesterday. He talked about the couple that we were able to actually help them get married again.
Yeah, we performed the ceremony
After the divorce. So if somebody who goes through the process, they've divorced, separated lives, moved on, can come back together and see things differently and get to a point of reconciliation, couldn't you? I think it's a powerful concept to meditate on, this idea of resurrection and taking something that is gone and breathing new life into it, not old life. You don't want the old marriage. You don't want the old relationships and issues and things. You want something new. And that, to me, transforms the whole concept of it. Because guess what? If something's dead and rotten and stinking, I don't want that. I want a renewed, alive, fresh, passionate, exciting, energetic, futuristic, focused relationship. And that's what you have the potential to do.
So let's talk to you, because for those of you who are struggling, and you know who you are, it's an internal struggle, right? And so maybe it's about the way you look at things. And so the question that I have for you this morning is, do you find yourself defining your life by a before and after of the deep hurt that's happened? Think about that for a second. A before and after. So in essence, what is the deep hurt we're talking about? Maybe it was a horrible season that you went through. Maybe it was a conversation that you had that stunned you and you were never able to recover. Maybe it was the shocking day of the discovery of the affair that your spouse was engaged in. That became your deep hurt. Maybe it was that car accident. Maybe it was that divorce. Maybe it was a suicide or a breakup, or maybe it was a remark that was made to you that was so cemented in your conscience that it branded your soul, and you haven't been able to move on forward from it. Maybe it was that word that your spouse said, that comment that really dug in deep, and they became like daggers that cut into the heart of your being, and you were never able to recover. Maybe it was a false accusation or a violation. Whatever it was, whatever that deep pain was, it's like you have your own branded BCAD. Right? BC AD, what's that? Well, BC we know is before Christ. AD, many people, I used to think it was after death, but it actually means Anno Domini, which is the year of the Lord. But when you have been personally marked by an experience, you have your own, a painful experience, you create this BC AD. BC means before the crisis, and AD is after the devastation. And that's the lens through which you look at life. And it's a line that you've drawn in your life that not only divides your life, but it opens up your memory bank and it defiles your mind. And it shapes how you look at the world. And this is why you think life is dark, this marriage is over, it's dead, because I'm looking at everything through the lens of that horrible, deep pain.
And what that does is that controls your actions, right? So now that I'm thinking of things of before you did this to me, before I experienced this hurt and pain, I was this. Now, after the crisis, I'm this. I see things this way. And we've embraced that instead of rejecting that. And what ends up happening is that it, like you said, it defiles the way that you think, but it also changes the controls, how you do things. Imagine this. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Yeah.
So if you're the type of person that is harboring resentments of the past, your spouse isn't the only one that hurt you. You are dragging offenses from everybody right along with you. in everything that you do. It's simultaneously with you. It's one with you. It's who you are. What you consume is what you become. So if you're consuming rage, anger, bitterness, resentfulness, unforgiveness, revenge, that's who you are.
Yeah.
Regardless of what people have done to you and hurt you and offended you, all the things that rightfully so they were wrong, you have become all those things. So here it is, we're in a relationship and we're trying to figure it out and work it out, and you've hurt me, but I have become anger, rage, revenge, bitterness, unforgiveness.
Whoa. You just said something. You said, I have become.
Yes.
Not that I have, not that I consume, not that it's, I have become the emotion.
Yes.
It's become who I am.
Yes.
And if this is who I am, then listen, we're not human doings, we're human beings. What we do is an extension of who we've become.
Yes.
So if I'm an angry person, I do angry things.
That's all. That's it. We are what we consume. And what I'm trying to get you to understand is that you've consumed anger. You've consumed all these negative emotions because you haven't known what to do with them. And also, let me not be negligent in mentioning that we're doing that to protect ourselves. Like, we're actually trying to protect ourselves from further hurt. We're just doing it in the wrong way. So what we've done is we've created an arsenal of defenses, and everybody's getting shot, everybody's getting stabbed, everybody's getting killed because you have become your hurt, your pain, your offenses.
What's deep about what you said is everybody, right? So even the person who caused the pain initially, not only do they get it, but everybody in your circumference gets it. People who have nothing to do with your situation now become victims of what you haven't let go through. So everybody suffers because you're suffering.
Yeah.
Danielle,
And here's the final thing I want to do to tie in what you said, because we're talking about resurrecting your marriage, right? And so literally, BC, right, before the crisis, you were alive, you were vibrant, you had feelings and emotions, you had intimacy, you could connect, you could talk. But after the crisis, after the devastation, you are dead. You are now the sum culmination of your hurt and your pain. And so the first resurrection that needs to happen is in you. When you wake up again, when you open your eyes, when fresh breath is breathed into you, the transformation can begin right there.
the first resurrection is with you. That right there, that's a bomb. It happens within you. Because you're so focused on this relationship that you've avoided this relationship.
And you've allowed yourself to become completely toxic. And nobody's going to tell you. Your friends aren't going to tell you because they're like, yeah, girl, exactly what he did to you. Or, yeah, man, she was dead wrong for that. Do what you got to do, bro. Like, that's what our friends do. They're trying to help us. They don't know what they're doing. Rule number one, who do you listen to? Not other people who are not trained to walk you through the path of discovery and recovery, period. Okay? Not people that don't have what you want. And not people that haven't been where you're going. So that's number one. Those around us are feeding us and telling us it's okay to be bitter, to be angry. They're not calling you to the carpet and saying, you need to start with you. Look at you. You know why? They don't want to offend you. They don't want to hurt your feelings and let you know, yeah, I know you were hurt by this person and they did you dirty, but you got some stuff, you got some issues you need to work out. Nobody will tell you that.
At all. Danielle, the more our pain consumes us, the more it controls us. You used the word consumes earlier. Let's sit in this for a second. The more our pain consumes us, the more it will control us. So now when you think about the word consumes, like it means to engage fully in something, to engross yourself in something, to devour. Like think about consuming food. Like, you're eating this food, you're consuming it, it's so good, you can't get enough of it. Now all of this stuff.
You sound sound like Cookie
is
Monster.
in you, right? You've consumed it. But what's consuming you then begins to now control you. And when you're consuming fear and depression, anxiety, rage, frustration, bitterness, resentment, unforgiveness, all of that is now within you, and now it begins to take over you, and now you don't even have control of yourself anymore. It's now controlling you, and now you feel like there's an invasion of your body, and you're not even controlling yourself. You're a slave to your own emotions, and you're addicted to your own emotions, and it's impacting your relationship with yourself and with your spouse and with your children. Like to your point where everybody gets cut and everybody gets shot, because listen, if I'm no good to me, I can't be any good to anybody else. So everybody suffers. And this is one of the challenges, because oftentimes in an affair, when an affair has occurred and the couple is on they're just in a dark place. Oftentimes the children suffer so tremendously, because if you're not in your right mind, if you're not in your right emotions, I don't even have a mother anymore. I don't even have a father anymore, because the normal responsibilities and relationships and connection that you have with me is now missing, because you're in a dark place. You've lost yourself. So now everybody's suffering because of what has occurred. And that's why you have to get out of this dark place. You got to change your mind. You got to change your emotions. You got to do what's necessary to get yourself together. The first resurrection before the marriage is the resurrection within yourself. So you got to go deep. You got to live from the inside out and work on your stuff to get you to a better place.
Let me just say this to sum it all up. What you consume eventually will consume you. Good, bad, or indifferent. You will be consumed by love and grace and support and joy and happiness if that's what you consume. You will be consumed by rage, hate, vengefulness, unforgiveness, and bitterness if that's what you consume. Point and blank. We got to do better. So here's why we're talking about how to resurrect your marriage, because there is a way to do that. You've just got to start with you. Somebody did post in here, doesn't it take two? It takes two to tango. It doesn't take two to transform your life. It takes you. It takes the willingness of one person to do something different. When you do something different, you begin to change. When you change, your environment automatically changes, because everything has to shift around the new you that is there. People can't treat you the same if you are not the same. If I have an orange in one hand and an apple in another hand, oranges does one thing, apple does something else. Has anybody ever had an orange pie?
No, I don't want that.
Nope. I don't even like marmalade. Is it marmalade? Marmalade? That mess is nasty. No, but you take that apple and you'll make an apple pie. So when you become different, your environment around you changes. People have to treat you different because you're not the same. It just takes you.
That's a bomb drop. Listen, LaShonda says, good morning. Yes, personal transformation. I came to Couples Academy blaming my spouse, but realized things about myself that was life-changing. Thank you, Couples Academy. Which speaks to what you just said. Does it take two? Doesn't it take two? Yeah, it does, but it starts with one. Think about this. Okay. You've heard us say this before. The key to your marital transformation, restoration, the key to your marital restoration is your personal transformation. So if you want this two to work out, you still got to start with one.
Period. Start with one.
And stop waiting for your spouse to be the one.
And that's what it is. You know, when I hear questions like that, that's what I hear. Like, I'm waiting on him. I'm waiting on her to do right because she did me wrong. So I can just sit in my misery. I'm going to sit back, fold my arms. I'm not going to give anymore. I'm not going to participate. I'm not going to communicate. I'm not going to do nothing. We have all these I'm nots until I see them change. And the transformation begins with you. Point blank.
There's so much, we have so much to cover. What I want to do really quickly is go to a quick video. Listen, guys, we come on every day, and we're glad that you're a part of this experience. And we're giving you meat, substance, things to chew on, things to help shape and change your mind. But sometimes you just got to take that next step. You got to go to the next level. And this is why we provide services. We have, and just so you know, we're Couples Academy. So yes, we work with couples, both married and non-married couples, but we also work with individuals. We do individual coaching as well that is purely transformational. So whatever your relational state may be, whether you're single, dating, committed courtship, engaged, or married, Couples Academy has a place for you to get what you need. So check this out. We'll be right back in just a second. This is what we're committed to. We're committed to you guys, and we're committed to you by providing resources that you can take advantage of. There's many resources out there. There are many counselors, there are many coaches, there's many private practices out there. And if you find one that you're comfortable with, go to them, use them. We're not the end all to be all, we're just one. God has raised us up. God has allowed us to experience things. He's given us tremendous insight and given us, more importantly than all that, a heart for you. You're not a number with us. You're not just another couple that we just bring through some system and send you on your way. We have a heart for you. And I think what we do every day speaks to that. And because of that, we know what you need because we know what we needed. Or at the time, we probably didn't know what we needed. And we didn't have a community. We didn't have a system. We didn't have anything. We were literally figuring this thing out on our own. And it took us a lot longer. It took us years to get to where we are today. And we spent a lot of money and did a lot of things, missteps, setbacks, just trial and error. But what it took us years to get through. It doesn't have to take you that long because we've discovered a pathway and a methodology, and we have modalities that are here to serve you. Like, stop overthinking it. Get out of your own way. Just do. One thing I love about Nike, their motto is just do it. Just do it. Like, you are still in your head. You're still trying to figure it out. You're still trying to justify why you shouldn't and how it's different from me, and just do it. Listen, if you think your marriage is dead or about to die, well, okay, then that means there's only one direction that you can go, and that's up. It can only get better. So do you want to see? You complain about how dead your marriage is, but you won't leave it. You still in it for whatever reasons you are in it. So why live a life of torture and pain and misery and resentment and disgust and disconnection? Why live this life? You're choosing to live this life. Or you can choose to do something different. What are you going to do? Like, either you, what's that expression? You either poop or get off the pot. Do something. I'm talking to you. Do something. Or settle for misery for the rest of your life. Is that what you want? Is that what you really want? Maybe you've gotten comfortable with it. Maybe you're just used to it. Maybe you're settled and fine. Maybe you want to be the victim. Maybe you want to remain stuck. Maybe this is the life that you want so that you can always have somebody else to point the finger at, somebody always else to blame. Maybe you want to have a story. You know, some people are addicted to bad stories. They want to be that person. Oh, woe is me. Life is so hard. I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. My man won't do right. My kids won't do right. You blame everybody. You blame the government. You blame the system. You blame your parents. That's who you have become. And now you're attaching all of that stuff to your spouse because it's easy. That's what you want? Why do you tune in every single day? I thought you were here because you wanted something different. Because you wanted something more. Because you wanted a new life for yourself, for your spouse, for your family. If that's what you say you want, do something. That's why we have the Last Chance Weekend, January the 7th through the 9th. Listen, why not start your new year off right? The origin of a thing determines its nature. So if you have a healthy foundation going into this new year, won't it have an impact on the entire year? Or do you still want to be in a miserable, broken, emotionally bankrupt state, complaining, waiting for somebody to come and save you from yourself? Not going to happen. Even the way you pray is wrong. You pray asking God, do it for me, save me, change me, fix me. That's not even consistent with the word. God has empowered you and given you everything that you need. You come into partnership with God. God doesn't work for you. He works through you, which means that you have to be a willing participant. Yeah, I told you off because you needed to be told off.
That was being called blessed out.
But I love you.
You got blessed all the way out. And yes, we do love you guys. And all of it is coming from a place of love. But sometimes you need some tough love. And wow.
Just
you
make the
said
decision.
Everything that they needed to hear on today.
You know what? Something happens. You know what? I almost lost my life twice. I have a boldness now.
I think 3 times when you were a baby too.
Well, that's true too. But I have a boldness now. You know they say when you get to a certain age, you just don't care no more. You're just gonna say what you need to say. Like, we love you. This is all in love. But I'm willing to tell you what you need to be told, regardless of how it comes across. Sometimes you need to be shaken out of your stupor. Sometimes you just need that hard message. And if that's what it takes, then so be it. But we love you. There's a couple that came to the intensive. But, it was right after I got out of COVID. I guess my patience wasn't there. And we going back and forth through text. And she was just like, I ain't coming. I said, well, fine. You ain't good. And so, but it was love. It was love. So I reached back out to her. She came and thought it was incredible. Now they're in the Moving Forward program.
Yes.
And we gave each other love all weekend long. Sometimes you just have to have hard conversations.
Legit.
And I'm having a hard conversation with you this morning. Listen, guys, God has given us an opportunity to be a blessing to you. We want to partner with you, but you have to make a decision. We can't do it all. We've created this space. We've created a system, a process. We have an amazing team that comes here from all over the country. They fly in, sacrificing time with their family, with their loved ones for you. Partner with us. Let's make this happen. Hope you got something out of today. We will see you in the morning. Love you guys.
Love you
Take
guys.
care.
Bye. Something like that you said, and you're like, I'm just being honest.